on the 8th of July this year, the National government legally passed through a set of regulations that see long service leave accrual for workers who are in the unfortunate situation of being injured through no fault of their own and on work cover, no longer accrue long service leave entitlements. And this was without discussion, consultation, and treating water workers differently to every other kind of public sector worker in Victoria. No other public sector worker is treated this way by this government. There are about 5,000 workers in water across Victoria, and they're already being attacked by this government through the Fair Water Initiative, which is forcing employers to cut the conditions of their employment and implementing a policy around enterprise bargaining that sees conditions of employment stripped away. Workers who are injured in this sector, there's about 68 of them every year from the work cover claim data, and the injuries they face are lots of psychological injuries and some, asbestos-related claims that we are yet to see through the system. Many of these workers never go back to work again, and sometimes this means that a loss of a long service leave entitlement, which will see a large payout at the end of their work cover period, completely taken away from them. And that can be really important when we represent members in negotiating the best entitlements that we can get to them in order to help them recover in their lives after being injured at work. So today we have collected hundreds of signatures on a petition, and we are going to ask Des, who is a delegate of ours in City West Water, to hand those over to Martin Foley, who we're also going to ask to speak to you in a minute. Martin is the Shadow Minister for Water from the ALP, and we've also got Natalie Hutchins here, who is the Shadow Workplace Relations Minister. Yeah. I don't know if you get Minister. Shadow Minister. Yeah. Soon to be Minister, hopefully. To table these petitions on behalf of our members in water to send a message to this government. Unfortunately, we've recruited to hear about this issue and had no response. We invited him out here today, but he's otherwise engaged. But we will send a message through our representatives into the Parliament, and they can hear us out of here.
It's a great privilege to come along here to an ASU rally, my own former union division, but we're one big happy family. So can I acknowledge Lisa and Richard and all the delegates from across the ASU. What a wider family. What we're seeing is an attack on long-established, hard-fought conditions, because that's what Liberals do. We've seen it with Tony Abbott, we've seen it now continue with this government. Water sector workers should be entitled to the same long service leave standards that thousands of other workers across Victoria and across the public sector are entitled to. What we've seen is a singling out of water sector workers in the hope that they can get a breachhead, knock off hard-fought conditions, hard-won conditions that all are about recognising long service leave. It's not as if these are exactly Rolls-Royce conditions across Australia or indeed across the private sector either. We're talking about fairly minimal conditions that this nasty government is trying to take away from injured workers who are already undergoing pain and suffering, and as we've heard, disproportionately likely not to return to work again.